Let's call to order the Planning Committee meeting for Tuesday, January 9th at 4 o'clock. We've got Councillor Wolf and Councillor Au online. Motion on the minutes, moved, seconded. All those in favor, contrary, carried. Our next committee meeting date is January 23rd in these very chambers. And the first item on the agenda is an application by Lada Global Properties to discharge a section of 219 covenant prohibiting indoor recreation facilities at 5766 and 5788 Gilbert Road. And it is just to discharge the section, and then we got Alex and Suzanne. Alex, are you going to give us an update, please? Oh, that's yours. Good music.
No problem.
Here we are.
No, okay, sound.
Oh, can we wait till Alex is finished? Or do you? Yes. Yeah, you'll
Okay,
get a
sounds
question.
good.
No problem.
So just
Alex,
a brief,
you're on.
just a brief presentation, Mr. Chair. So this is an application to discharge a Section 219 covenant prohibiting indoor recreation facilities from 5766 and 5788 Gilbert Road, which was recently constructed under a development permit. The applicant agreed to the registration of the covenant as part of the development permit application. Discharge of this covenant would allow any indoor recreation use to be permitted to operate on site. Should City Council agree to the discharge of the covenant, the city will no longer pursue any similar restriction on future developments in the area. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, Carol, now you have a question.
Thank you very much. So will this be the end of the covenant permanently, or just for this one application?
So through the chair to Councillor Day, if council does approve the discharge of this covenant, it is staff's recommendation that we will no longer pursue the similar restrictions on developments.
Area-wide. Any other comments? Andy?
Thanks, and through the chair. Just a quick comment. I just totally support this recommendation from staff, and I just want to say it out loud. It makes total sense, and I agree with not doing it in the future on other applications too. So glad to see it come forward.
Okay, any other further discussion? All right, a motion?
Yeah, question.
Okay, question. Sorry, I didn't see you up there, but let's get
No
you.
worries.
Hang on.
Thank you.
Whoa. We'll get you on the screen and let's get it. Are we connected now? We're not connected yet, Michael. Hang on.
Okay.
There you
There we
go.
are.
Loud and
Great. Yeah, thank you very much through the chair and staff. My question is, I know the Oval said that they approved this, but what if the use was a fitness gym similar to what the Oval has, and the rate is much less than what the Oval's rate is? Does the Oval still support that?
Through the chair.
Okay.
Through the chair to Councillor Wolf, if I may. So this would allow recreational use in its broadest definition. So there would be no issue. It's just reinstating the ability to have that indoor recreational.
Okay. Thanks for clarifying.
Okay, anything else? All right, let's move and seconded. All those in favor? Contrary, carried. Thank you. Thank you, Michael, for that. Okay, the next one is an application by Fairchild Development for a temporary commercial use permit at 8320 Canby Road and 8431 Brownwood Road. And it's to be considered for a period of 3 years. And the application would be forward to the public hearing on February 20th, 24, right here in this hall. All right, James and Suzanne, you're on, James.
To the chair. Thank you, Mr. Chair. This application would allow the continued temporary use of the site for non-accessory parking, which includes 34 parking stalls. Temporary commercial use permits have previously been approved for the site in 2014, 2017, and 2020. The site was originally approved with a gravel surface, but due to complaints of dust by neighboring residents, the applicant proposed an asphalt surface in 2020. At the time, council directed the applicant to apply crushed limestone instead of using asphalt. In response to ongoing concerns of dust from the neighbors, the applicant is proposing an asphalt surface treatment with this temporary use permit application. No new structures are proposed through the new temporary use permit. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, are there any questions from anybody? All right, seeing none, we move the motion. Seconded. Any further, Carol? All those in favor? Carried. Thank you very much. Good, thank you. Number 3 is the application Leung Designs Limited for rezoning at 7560 Ash Street from single detached RS1F zone to a single detached RS2E zone and a single detached South McLennan City Center ZS14 zone. And the recommendation is to be introduced and given first reading. And we've got Laurel and Josh. Laurel, you're on.
Thank you. And the proposed rezoning facilitates the subdivision of one single-family RS1F lot into one single-family RS2E lot fronting onto Ash Street and one single detached ZS14 South McLennan City Center lot fronting onto Armstrong Street. The application was previously presented to Planning Committee on September 13th, 2023, with a proposal to rezone the entire property to RS2E with subdivision into two single-family RS2E lots. At the October 16th, 2023 public hearing, the applicant requested that the application be referred back to staff as they wish to rezone the proposed eastern lot to the ZS14 zone. This report responds to that referral. There is an existing owner-occupied single-family home on the proposed western lot, which will be retained. The applicant is required to provide a 9-meter wide road dedication along the entire east property line of the subject property for Armstrong Street for an ultimate road width of 18 meters. Construction of Armstrong Street, along with frontage improvements on Ash Street, and servicing and utility works are to be undertaken as part of the servicing agreement required prior to subdivision. There are no existing bylaw-sized trees on the subject property or on adjacent city property. The applicant has agreed to the planting of a minimum of 2 trees in the front yard and 2 trees in the backyard of each of the proposed lots for a total of 8 trees.
Further to Ms. Aiton's comments, I would just like to highlight there was a memo circulated to the committee on table advising of some changes to the affordable housing strategy as associated with this application. Consistent with that memo, the applicant has agreed to provide a minimum 1-bedroom secondary suite in any future construction of a dwelling on lot 1 and a 2-bedroom minimum 46 square meter secondary suite on lot 2. This is consistent with the city's affordable housing strategy and consistent with the previous application that was considered by committee and council. In addition, there's also a memo from the city clerk's office advising that should committee wish at this time, they could amend the recommendations to include first, second, and third reading, which would go forward and be considered by council at the January 29th council meeting. Should that be endorsed?
Monday night, 2 weeks hence. Yep.
That
Are
is
there
all.
are there any questions? Seeing none, then Alexa, go ahead.
Thank you. It says it's consistent with the affordable housing strategy, but I don't recall us ever requiring a 2-bedroom before on any, so sometimes a developer will agree to it, but that doesn't necessarily tie it into a covenant. It's just they're agreeing to it or not agreeing to it.
Through the chair to Councillor Liu, the city's affordable housing strategy requires a provision of a secondary suite. Through the negotiations associated with this development application, the applicant has agreed to provide a minimum 2-bedroom secondary suite. So if they were to choose to build anything larger than that, that would be up to their own prerogative at this point. So when I say consistent with the city's affordable housing strategy, it is that a secondary suite has been secured consistent with that strategy.
Okay. I don't know about anybody else, but I think the 500 square foot 2-bedrooms suite is pretty small. 1-bedroom 500 square foot suite is pretty small, but okay. Thanks.
Okay. All right. I'm going to move that we give it first reading and also that the bylaw amendment 10491 be abandoned. Second. Any further discussion? No. All those in favor? Contrary? Carried. All right. This will go forward to. Oh, you did one? Well, why didn't you say so? Come on. Come on forward. Do we do that here too? Okay, you want to speak it? It's all, it's going forward, but go ahead. I don't know what you can add. You want us to turn it down?
Our proposal is to give Richmond what they're asking for, a two-bedroom suite and a one-bedroom suite. We would like to switch those requirements to the two-bedroom suite or the bigger suite to the bigger lot, which is Lot 1, it's 12,000 square feet. The smaller suite would be for the smaller lot, Lot 2, which is 6,000 square feet. So it's not like we're giving any less. And in fact, the property that's being developed right now, right beside us, same size lot,
Okay.
two-lot subdivision, 0 suites.
All right, well,
Richmond
let's-
is asked, and the negotiation was for a one-bedroom suite and a two-bedroom suite. We're just wanting to switch it.
okay, staff, can that be accommodated?
Through the chair, that is not consistent with the signed rezoning considerations. It would be at council's discretion or committee's discretion to agree to that. However, I would suggest that the application once again be referred back to staff.
Why?
Well, cannot committee make that recommendation here? I believe we can.
The chair, yes, it is committee's prerogative to make that recommendation. However, I would say that there's a tremendous amount of time that is put into achieving signed rezoning considerations, as was done.
Okay, Carol?
Okay, so I'm confused. This, it says here that this has been agreed to, that what's here has been agreed to, but this applicant is saying this is not what's been agreed to? I just need clarity.
In the communication, we would often get emails at 2 o'clock expecting a response by 4 o'clock. And we wanted to get it in front of you people because we got the feeling that staff was not supporting our application. And so we have no problem putting the suites in. We just think it makes more sense to have the bigger suite on the bigger lot
bigger
and the
building.
smaller suite on the smaller lot. It's not giving Richmond any less housing.
Okay, sorry. Do I have Mr. Craig on my list now? No? Okay, go ahead.
Through the chair to Councillor Day and to committee. The applicant in this case is Mr. Lung. It is Mr. Lung signed rezoning considerations that we have before as part of this application.
Okay. Andy?
Thanks, and through the chair. I think I understand what's going on, and common sense-wise, intuitively, it kind of makes sense what you're saying. But just a committee, if we're going to change something on the fly, and for the sake of a few weeks, I think I'll see what other people say. I'd probably prefer referring it back to staff so we get a full answer on the implications, because it came out this way for a reason.
Yeah.
And I don't think we're going to get into that kind of detail now. So I wouldn't mind referring it back, since it seems to be what the applicant wants, and give staff a chance to reply. Thank you.
My question before we throw the baby out with the bathwater, so you, from the delegation point of view, you wouldn't mind a delay of 2 weeks to a month?
We don't mind.
Okay, okay, thank you. To staff, how likely is this going to be if we refer it back? Are we going to get the positive result? If we're going to refer it back and get the same result, why are we referring it back?
Through the chair, if this item was referred back, it will come back to committee for consideration at a February planning committee. That February planning committee will likely facilitate first, second, and third reading in either late February or early March.
Are you okay with that?
Yes.
You are, okay, all right. Well, if you're happy with it, I'd move referral back to staff to come forward no later than the second planning committee meeting in February. Second? Okay, any
Yeah.
further discussion? Carol?
Yeah, like I said, this is dated today, so.
We just got this today, yeah.
Therein lies my confusion, that this memo states that this was agreed on today, and yet we have an applicant here that says this is not what's dated today. So the question I have is, what is the like the protocol for reaching out to, applicants, and it just seems like there's been a bit of a disconnect. So is there something we could have done better that would have facilitated this being less confusing?
Through the chair to Councillor Day, there's no doubt there has been some miscommunication with respect to this application. What I would say is prior to advancing any application forward to Planning Committee, staff ensure we have signed rezoning considerations. In this case, we have signed rezoning considerations indicating a 2-bedroom suite would be provided on the smaller of the 2 lots.
Okay, well, let's refer it back and fix it.
And we're following our process. Okay, so the motion, are you finished? Okay, thank you very much. So it's on the floor, so I'm going to call the question. All those in favor? Contrary, carried. Okay, it'll be referred back, coming at a next step, sequent planning meeting, and then we'll be able to, and the recommendation will be at that time to go first, second, and third reading. So, okay, so I really haven't probably lost much time, if you wish. Okay, thank you very much. Anything else from managers? You're excused. Thank you. You can go. Managers. No, managers. Okay, we're adjourned. Thank you very much.